writing, you know, they wrote fluently in Alexandrine, in verses, letters in verses, in German or French, or whatever. And he was an astrologist. His great specialty was, word specialty was, how to say, Sonnenuhren, I say, sundials and all that. And he made astronomical clocks, which he conceived with the statues moving, like the earthquake in Messina, so that the whole Campanile had collapsed. And so he conceived all the different mechanisms, you know, all the asters, all the, you know, like he designed the Sicilian lion turning his head, brandishing a flag, and for the roar of the lion, he used an old siren, you know, like a factory siren, just twisted the propeller to get the sound of the roaring of the lion. So I was born on very fertile ground, because no matter the penury, my mother never sold a book of the library. I was brought up at least with my father's library. And then I must say I had older brothers and sisters. I was the accident of my family. I was born 8 years later than the others.
The other members, your siblings, are they artistic?
Oh, I think in the whole family. I mean, I have 3 nieces who are authors and illustrators and children. It's really all that runs really in the family. Like my father wrote in French, German, and Alsatian, in the Alsatian language. We are languages of our own, still a little bit. And so, as I said, I was born on very fertile ground, like everybody in the family was drawing or writing, and I was, in my early stages, of course, very, very encouraged, and my sisters and brothers, everybody taught me how to draw, taught me how to read, and it was a very close family setup.
It sounds ideal at the start, but
well, the only thing is we didn't have a penny. I mean, like there was a point my brother couldn't go to school, and his teacher lent him a pair of shoes so he could get there. So. But we lived by the garden, at least we had a big garden. And then things changed when I was French before the war, and then the Germans and the Nazis arrived for 4 years, and then I was French again. So that was a big change. It was like television, of course. And
the drawings you've done from that period that were done in school under Nazi.
The Nazis arrived, and we had to learn German. We had to learn German in 3 months. That was the law. My brother taught me, and don't forget the Alsatian language is Germanic anyway, so it wasn't that difficult. But still, after 3 months, you could be arrested for a bonjour or a merci and all that. But you know, everything has its advantages. For one thing, very early I found out that there's nice people everywhere. My mother was fanatically anti-German, and I couldn't understand it because there were so many nice German kids in schools, and we had nice German teachers. We had Alsatian teachers too, and of course it was total brainwashing. Every class was started with a Sweeter Heil Hitler for the Führer and all that stuff. But I think in terms of pedagogy, you know, I learned English in 2 years, and I was not a good pupil, and the teacher would tell me, you know, you can draw, and the Führer needs artists, you know, so always reassuring.
I find that amazing that you still have these drawings from your school days. Was it your mother who...
Yeah, well, as I said, I wrote a book about it, and the first line is, my mother never threw anything away, neither did I. And I kept all the documents of the Nazi time, which grew into a huge collection, because then I wrote a book about this period, which is used in the history course in France, in the enseignement public. And after this book came out, all the people still had documents, and all this just gave me, you know, there's like 6,000 documents about the Nazi time, and all this belonged to the French government. I gave this whole collection to you. And it's used a lot for exhibitions. Like right now, some of this material is exhibited in the German concentration camp museum in Germany right now. So, I mean, all the things actions always end up somewhere. And then the great thing is, really great thing is, in a way, is that the last 3 months of the war, I was in Colmar, in the last bridgehead, that the Germans had over the Rhine. So I must say that I've seen the war just like an infantryman. Me and my sisters, we had to do trenches for the Germans, and I know exactly how it is to, like, down there, somebody stepping on a mine and landing on a bloody stump, and then the most crazy things at the arrival of the liberation, there was a tank offensive, and my two sisters and my mother and I, we all went through the minefields to greet the tanks. You know, nobody would do something like this. And there was still a machine gun position. I remember the Germans was there, so there's alles for you, but it's all over now. There was a few bodies, dead bodies. And then on the way back, I picked the machine gun, which I had for good. We used to play with that after school. I mean, all the kids, we had an arsenal you wouldn't believe, so.
But liberation wasn't what you expected, though.
No, we were expecting the Allies for anything. For one thing, when we came back from the battlefield, we came to the house, our house was still standing. And the Americans, we were in a pinching movements, and the Americans were coming from the other side, you see. And they had us at gunpoint. And for the liberation, my mother had kept 2 jars of jam, and the Americans, with a few other trophies, took those 2 jam pots away. So that was my first meeting with the American capitalism. So. But then the French came back, and their policy was really bad because they made us feel guilty. We had lost already 2 years, and we were just considered with our accents as dirty little Germans and all that stuff. And so in the end, let's cut it short because otherwise it's going to go on forever here. And I didn't really finish high school, and then I took off with my rucksack when I was young, and so on. So that was because I think of all the Alsatians in my class, I think only 3 of them made the third, what you call third here in Ireland.
Right.
Lots of French kids. They were all right.
So if we fast forward to arriving in New York.
Yeah, but I would say this is very good because there's no sense asking me about my childhood if I don't explain what it did to me. It established for me my whole life was already designed by then. Already by then I could stand violence, I couldn't stand injustice, I couldn't stand inequality, prejudice. I've been brainwashed with that. I still have to deal with my amount of brainwashing. And that made me some kind of a missionary, and that's what I put really in all my work, because I don't know what you're going to see there, but I can tell you that all my life I've been involved into one cause or another, and sometimes a lot of causes, culturally, you know, especially for my country too, you know, like the Vietnam War in America, and I got into a lot of troubles, believe me, because I'm a free man. That's what I was taught. That's what I was taught by all those experiences. You are what you are. No matter what's happening around you, no matter, even if you are to lose everything, you are still yourself, and you have yourself, because you're the owner of yourself. So, up to a point, unless you lose a limb and then jump on a mine, and then to see all that has shaped me.
Did you know that? When you arrived in America, did you realize that you would be able to by using illustration, change things? Was this
I don't know if you can really change things. You know, I've done a lot of political books, you know, like the Strasbourg and a lot of other books. But usually those books are bought and those posters are looked at by people who have the same opinions that you have. I don't think that you can really, you know, with your, I think all you can do is bring a bit of awareness. Because most of my satire is not directly, always direct, it's social satire. Social satire. And this is, what does it do? makes people aware. It makes people aware, you know. Whole society is really a surface of abscesses. All you have to do is to put your finger on it and get a big pus out of it. So